Proceed. Now here's a word that you are very familiar with, and we're going to use this word as a keyword to unlock the meanings of other words. That's our strategy. Now you know what proceed means. It means to go forward. But how does its parts give it its meaning? Proceed comes in two parts, pro and seed. And if you remember the prefix pro from our study, it means forward or towards. And so if proceed means to go forward and the pro in it means forward, then the CEED must mean to go. You're exactly right. And that's what CED means, CEDE or CED. That seed means to yield, give up, or to go. Now we're going to use proceed to unlock the meanings of other words. And what we're looking for now is not the whole word proceed, but at least that root part of it, CEDE and CEED. We know now that means to give up, to go, to yield, but primarily its meaning is to go, like in proceed, to go forward. So our first word is secede. Next we have recede, concede, accede, exceed, and intercede. What do these words mean? Well, immediately we can tell that they all have in common the root or base part, seed. And since we know what CEDE means from proceed, which means to go forward, and we know that pro means forward and CEDE means to go, each of these words has a very similar meaning in terms of using CEDE or seed, which means to go. So, or to yield, or to give up. Let's take concede. Concede simply means to yield to someone. How do I know that? This CON is going to be an intensive prefix, and CEDE means to give up or to yield. So if I concede to you, I'm giving in to your demands. I'm saying, okay, whatever, I agree. Exceed. Now it's time to pull out your prefix toolbox. And if you look back at your prefixes, you will see EX means, for example, out of. And if seed means to exceed means to go out of the boundary, to go beyond. He exceeded the demands for the position. He exceeded the amount of money that I thought he would actually give me. He exceeded my expectations, went beyond. What about intercede? Again, pull out your prefix chart. What is inter? Say, I don't have my prefix chart. I can't remember my prefixes. Well, think of a word then. Let's take the word intercede, okay? And let's break it down. That's our first step. Break it down into two parts, inter and seed. Now, let's think of a word that contains both or one of these parts. We know that CEDE means to go. And I think of inter, I might think of maybe interrupt. If I interrupt someone, what am I doing? I'm breaking in or going between their conversation, going between them. If I intercept a football, intercept, I'm going between the receiver and the quarterback, and I'm grabbing the ball. So inter seems to mean between. If you remember from our prefix study, that's exactly what it means. But I'm just using our technique. See, so now I've got two words. And to intercede means literally to go between. Well, in what way? If your mom says you can't go to the park today, you can go and say, Dad, can you intercede for me? Can you go between me and Mom and plead my case? So intercede means to plead on someone's behalf. What does recede mean? Well, again, we have go here, so we have that part down. And think of a word like renew. Oh, I see, rewind, which means again. But also means back, like in reverse, to go back. And here, in this context, it means back. So to recede means to go back. After 45, my hairline began to recede, to go back. The waters began to recede from the shore, to go away from the shore, to go back. What about secede? Secede, again, to go. Well, CEDE means to go. What about SE? Separate. Let's separate. Let's go away from each other. So you see, SE means away. And I'm using my strategy again. I'm thinking of a simple word. And I have away. So secede literally means to go away from. And the southern states seceded from the Union. They went away from the Union. By the way, all of these words can also be expressed with CESSION at the end in the noun forms. Concession, recession, okay, intercession. Without exceed wouldn't do that. But secession would work though. And certainly finally accession. AC is a form of AD and it means to go. It means to, and CED means go. Go to. He acceded to the throne. You accede to the throne, you are going to the throne. So to accede means to go to or to approach a particular place. And normally it means, let's say, a throne or a position. Sometimes, though, it means to give up, to give in. He acceded to my demands. But it's easy for me to see that because I know that CEDE, cede, means to give in, to give up. And in that case, it also means I give up to you. So accede can mean to give in to someone's demands, or accede can mean to approach a particular position. All of these words, though, get their power and their meaning from CEDE, with different prefixes and yet the same root. Let's review. Our technique consists of 5 simple steps, doesn't it? Number 1, break the word into its root and or prefix parts. Number 2, think of a simple word which contains one or both of those root or prefix parts. Number 3, use that simple word to learn or remember the meaning of those root or prefix parts. Step 4, apply the meaning of those parts as keys to unlock the meaning of the word you want to define. And step 5, if the word was used in a sentence, see if your definition fits the context of the sentence. And that's how we acquire word smarts, by using word parts.